This is Mission Control Houston. If you were just joining our live coverage, this is an up-close view of the SpaceXDragon spacecraft. That is the hatchway at the very top of the vehicle. It's been a fair... The robotics officers here inside Mission Control are confirming that the arm once again is in motion. This will draw Dragon even closer to the International Space Station and get it into what they call the pre-install maneuver. This is a live view on board the International Space Station from one of the robotic workstations where the crew is monitoring.
Well, Yuri.
But you can see the slow rate that Dragon is being moved, but it is drawing near toward the orbiting complex.
Please have your HF receivers on. Okay, we'll do. And right now we can talk on the HF. The HF is on.
This is Mission Control Houston. Dragon is inching closer and closer to the bottom side of the Harmony node of the International Space Station. While this is taking place, handover is beginning between Orbit 1 and Orbit 2 here inside Mission Control. The robotics officer here inside the room is confirming that Dragon is in the pre-install position. So they're going to get some cameras set up and make sure that everything is ready to support the final phase of today's operations. But this is going to be the final push for Dragon and the space station. We will stand by, and they're going to be notifying the crew here shortly that they are go to proceed forward and get ready to latch Dragon onto the International Space Station itself.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2. No response required. We're probably 10 minutes from being ready for you at the RWS.
Copy that.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, we're just standing by for the team here inside the Space Station Flight Control Room to give the crew the go-ahead to finish up this last push of the Dragon spacecraft, where it will be installed on the bottom side of the Harmony node. This is a look at basically what amounts to the docking mechanism in between Dragon and the space station. So just a few more minutes, and then the ground team will give the crew the green light to go ahead and proceed. Once the crew gets Dragon installed on the International Space Station, they will actually be opening up the hatch tomorrow. And then they will spend 18 days unloading all of this cargo that Dragon is coming up to the station with. 882 pounds of supplies for the crew. Most of that is scientific equipment. All of these experiments on board the International Space Station. As we mentioned, there's been close to 1,500 experiments that have been run on board the station since it was created. Of course, orbiting complex took several years to build. It started back in 1998. We've had humans on board since 2000, so it is our home off the planet now. And all of these research activities and experiments need constant supplies. SpaceX, the latest to join the fleet of cargo vehicles that service the International Space Station, along with the Russian Progress that flies several times a year, the European Automated Transfer Vehicle that docks with the International Space Station's Russian segment, the Japanese HTV cargo craft that comes up and flies much in the same way that the Dragon does. It gets grappled and berthed with the U.S. segment. And now SpaceX becoming the first private corporation to fly a cargo craft up to the International Space Station. They did do something almost identical to this back in May, but that was part of the test flight as part of NASA's Commercial Orbital Transportation Services program, which is where NASA provided some funding and investments to SpaceX and Orbital Sciences. SpaceX started back in 2006 and spent several years developing this spacecraft and tested it over and over again, proving that it could work and fly true. Orbital Sciences came along in 2008, and they will be flying a test flight of their Antares rocket coming up toward the end of this year. And then their Cygnus vehicle, which is the cargo craft itself, will fly a demonstration mission to the International Space Station coming up in the early part of next year. But out of this 882 pounds that the Dragon is bringing up right now, close to 400 pounds of that, almost half, is scientific equipment, including a large glacier freezer, which is a device that used to be flown on board the shuttle. It allows different experiment samples that have been frozen on board the space station to be taken back home. So this glacier that's coming up on Dragon is empty. It'll be filled with samples and other items and research activity results that have been stored on board for several months, and they will be brought back home for a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean, returned to their principal investigators, and the science on those samples can continue. But 882 pounds up, and Dragon is actually bringing home almost twice that, 1,673 pounds of supplies at the end of this mission. Officer desktop here inside Mission Control. You can see the various views of Dragon as it closes in. You got to keep a close eye on this because it's fairly slow, but Dragon is closing in inch by inch toward the bottom side of Harmony. Just a few inches separating Dragon and the International Space Station at this point in time. The distance continuing to be reduced inch by inch. The two vehicles are currently 257 miles above the South Pacific Ocean. They're heading on down toward South America. The robotics officer confirming what they call here in Houston RTL. That means ready to latch. Again, there's 4 latches.
For robotics, we're at 7 and no 4 RTLs.
Copy 4 RTLs.
So 4 latches and 16 bolts.
Morning, Kate.
Good morning. Station Houston on Space to Ground 2, we are ready for you for install, and in step 3 of 1.110, we are in a stable attitude.
Copy that. Thank you very much. 1.110 in work.
Thank you.
Station on 2, arm is limped, moving on to second stage capture.
Copy, Aki, and for step 5.2, we are going to be building the templates from the ground, so as soon as you see the confirmation request from the templates, you are go to proceed.
Copy that. Thank you very much.
Sure thing.
So once again, the crew has wrapped up first stage capture. They have limped the arm, which basically just means they took the tension off of it. its job is basically finished for now. They are moving towards second stage capture. This is the final step in the installation of Dragon to the International Space Station.